Every car owner eventually has to deal with a mechanic, and for many, it's a nerve-wracking experience. That's because a surprising number of people simply don't trust auto repair shops. In fact, more than 63% of drivers in the US say they feel uneasy about the honesty of their mechanic. And it's not just paranoia. This mistrust is often earned. After years of working in the auto industry, I've seen how some mechanics manipulate people who lack technical knowledge. It's rarely about your safety. More often, it's about draining your wallet by using fear, urgency, and technical jargon that customers don't fully understand. One of the most common tactics used is the so-called emergency fluid flush. A mechanic might tell you that your coolant, transmission fluid, or brake fluid looks dirty and must be flushed right away. It sounds alarming, and that's the point. Most car owners aren't aware that modern fluids are designed to last tens of thousands of miles, often between 50,000 and 100,000. Despite this, many shops start pushing fluid flushes at just 30,000 miles or less. Why? Because it's one of the easiest ways to upsell. The average customer doesn't think to question this advice. Even worse, some dishonest mechanics go as far as showing you a container of dark, grimy fluid and claim it came from your vehicle, when in reality, it could have come from anywhere. That's why it's important to ask for evidence. If they claim your fluid is contaminated, request a test strip or lab report to confirm it. If they refuse or dodge the question, consider it a serious warning sign. Also, beware of buzzwords like sludge or metal particles. They're often used to trigger fear without offering real proof. The best way to stay informed is by reading your vehicle's owner manual. If it says your fluid doesn't need attention yet, trust the manual over the mechanic. Just by saying no to an unnecessary fluid service, you could easily save $100 to $300. Then there's the infamous check engine light, the tiny dashboard symbol that causes instant stress. Mechanics know how intimidating it can be. That's why some use it as leverage. The moment it comes on, they'll tell you it might be something major: a faulty catalytic converter, a broken oxygen sensor, or worse. These sound like expensive problems, and most people don't feel qualified to argue. But here's the truth. In many cases, the issue is minor, something as small as a loose or damaged gas cap. Fixing that might cost you nothing at all. So how do you protect yourself from exaggerated diagnoses? One simple step is to get an OBD2 scanner. It's a small tool that plugs into a port under your dashboard, usually right below the steering wheel. You can find one for around $20. Once connected, it reads the error code from your car's computer. That code can be searched online, giving you a good idea of what's really wrong before you even talk to a mechanic. Having that knowledge puts you in control. It means you can ask informed questions, challenge unnecessary repairs, and avoid being overcharged. Ultimately, staying informed and asking the right questions are your best tools against being scammed. You don't need to become a car expert. You just need to be curious, cautious, and willing to verify what you're being told. On the other hand, if you notice the code P0455, it often indicates that your gas cap is either loose or malfunctioning. This is a simple remedy that might cost you $15. It is common for the code P0171 to indicate that there is a contamination in the air filter or a tiny vacuum leak, both of which are easy to fix and do not cost much money. To add insult to injury, the code P0420 does not necessarily indicate that your catalytic converter is on its way out. The oxygen sensor may be malfunctioning in some cases. Being aware of the meanings of these codes puts you in control. Your self-assurance is boosted, and you may end up saving hundreds or even thousands of dollars as a result. Mechanics also like advocating for needless air filter changes. They will insist it is yours after removing a dirty, bug-infested filter. However, you must inquire if they are displaying your real filter or a soiled one they preserve for fear's sake. Most air filters have a lifespan of 15,000, 30,000 miles. Yours is most likely still in good condition unless you go through dusty areas all the time. The Car Care Council claims that 1 out of 4 drivers is duped into changing their air filter too soon. Simply open your hood and examine it yourself for protection. If it appears to be fine, tell them to stop. If it does need to be replaced, you can do it yourself in only 30 seconds by purchasing one online. It's a good idea to snap a picture of your filter before doing any inspection. You'll have evidence if they try to con you with a switch. The synthetic oil upsell is another devious strategy. They inform you that your automobile urgently needs synthetic oil when you bring it in for a regular oil change. Your engine seems to benefit from it, don't you think? Here's the reality. Conventional oil is ideal for 75% of cars, according to Consumer Reports. Although synthetic oil can be helpful for high-performance engines or harsh environments, it is a waste of money if your handbook doesn't expressly call for it. Often twice as expensive, synthetic oil won't improve engine performance just because you spent more for it. Synthetic is promoted by mechanics since it generates pure profit. They may claim that it reduces engine wear, or your car will be noisy without it. But unless you're driving a sports car or pulling a lot of weight, you should always follow your handbook. Your solution is 5W30 conventional, if that's what it says. Save your money on fixes that will truly make a difference instead of giving in to the upgrade pitch. Another popular fear-based fraud is the brake scam. Your brake pads have just 10% of their life left, or they are dangerously thin, according to mechanics. Though it's generally a ploy to force you into a replacement, this frequently causes worry. Usually, brake pads don't require replacement until they are worn down to a thickness of 3 mm. However, a lot of stores promote replacements while there is still 5 mm or more remaining. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration states that pads that are less than 3 mm can harm rotors, while pads that are more than that are safe. Ask the mechanic to use a gauge or caliper to show you the precise measurement. It's a warning sign if they say, "Just trust me," or refuse. The wear indicators on many cars also generate a squeaking sound when the pads are actually low. Do not permit brake work until the proof is in place. One client informed me that after spending $400 on new pads and rotors, he discovered that there was still 4 mm remaining. For brake repairs, always obtain a second opinion. Hundreds of dollars might be saved by a $50 checkup elsewhere. Then, there is the myth of parts that are factory only. Dealers or mechanics may warn you that using aftermarket components would invalidate your warranty and that you must use genuine parts. It isn't accurate. Although they are far more expensive, OEM, original equipment manufacturer, parts are frequently similar to aftermarket ones. If an aftermarket item bears the emblem of the automobile brand, it may cost $200 instead of $80. The National Automotive Parts Association has shown that 89% of aftermarket parts are 30 to 50% less expensive and perform on par with OEM parts. If your warranty does not specifically call for OEM components, which are only found in a select few luxury manufacturers like Mercedes, you are only increasing your mechanic's profit margin. Find out if there is a good aftermarket substitute available. Examine your warranty documentation. It probably permits genuine or equivalent components. A lot of folks are also overcharged for easy solutions. For instance, consider the cabin air filter. Even though replacing it just takes 5 minutes, stores sometimes charge $150. For what reason? Because they rely on you not searching quickly. A cabin filter replacement takes little skill. Simply open the glove box, take out the old one, and put the new one in. Online, the filter costs $10 to $20, but mechanics mark it up to $50 and then use fictitious labor charges of almost $100. The windshield wiper blades also require a fast replacement that costs $80. To obtain step-by-step instructions, search YouTube for the make and model of your automobile and the fix. Set aside funds for actual repairs. Phantom repairs are much crazier. After spending money on a transmission flush or a new fuel pump, you discover that it was never completed. Auto repair fraud costs Americans $2 billion a year, according to the Federal Trade Commission, and phantom repairs are a major contributor to this loss. What causes it to occur? Although they didn't, the mechanic says they fixed a problem or changed a part. A buddy of mine spent $600 on a new timing belt, only to find out later that the old, fractured belt was still in place. Asking to see the old pieces they removed is a good strategy to protect yourself. No components? Big red flag. Ask for before and after pictures of the job. Any respectable store will give them to you. Pay special attention to your invoice. Ask for details if the descriptions seem ambiguous, such as system service or adjusted components. Refuse to accept the allegations if they are unable to address them. Your credit card company or bank can assist. Finally, watch out for the "your warranty is void" scam. Dealerships frequently claim that your warranty is void if you don't hire them for maintenance. That's not true. The Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act is your safeguard. It says that if the service is done correctly and according to the manufacturer's specifications, the manufacturer cannot cancel your warranty just because you utilized a non-OEM business or non-OEM materials. When you use high-quality filters and fluids to replace your oil at a nearby shop. For instance, your powertrain guarantee is still in effect. The same is true for tires, brakes, and even more significant repairs. Maintain your service logs and receipts. The FTC has already taken action against dealers who improperly reject claims, and they will do it again. The 10th scam: blinker fluid and other counterfeit items. It's almost comical how ridiculous this one is, until you realize that people fall for it. While some establishments continue to make jokes about muffler bearings or blinker oil, others go farther and offer phony or expensive goods to unwary customers. For instance, sellers of premium windshield washer fluid charge $50 a gallon and claim that their formula is unique. It's actually the same fluid that you can get at any shop. Or think about gasoline injector cleaning. While some stores advertise it as a panacea, the majority of contemporary fuels already have additives that accomplish the same goal. Next is the well-known headlight restoration kit fraud. They will charge more than $100 to fix your foggy headlights. Yet a $10 kit from the car shop will do the same job. Even worse, they will try to sell you completely useless items such as AC recharge kits, when all your system needs is a basic repair. And the bottom line? It's probably not true if it sounds too fantastic or too ridiculous. Don't allow them to pitch you on unnecessary items for your automobile, and always do your homework before making a purchase. Pro tip: leave the area if a mechanic brings up blinker fluid. Either they are scammers or they are kidding. The 11th scam: the shock strut upsell. Your shocks or struts are shot, goes a classic. They have to be changed. How do they know though? It's usually only because your automobile reached a particular mileage. That isn't how it operates. Mileage is not the only indicator of shock and strut wear. Potholes, uneven roads, or large loads are some of the driving circumstances that cause them to fail. While most endure between 50,000 and 100,000 miles, some last significantly longer. How to test them is as follows. Firmly press down on each of your car's corners. Your shocks or struts may require maintenance if it bounces more than twice after you release your grip. They're okay if it settles immediately. Scam. Number 11. The 60,000-mile myth. At around 60,000 miles, many mechanics will push expensive, preventative replacements, especially struts. Sounds responsible, right? But unless you're noticing uneven tire wear, shaky handling, or a bumpy ride, don't fall for it. A full strut replacement can drain over $1,000 from your wallet, for absolutely no reason. Pro tip: always get a second opinion. Don't be intimidated by buzzwords like safety hazard. If your car is driving smoothly and handling well, you're probably just fine. Scam Number 12: inflated labor hours. Ever been billed for 3 hours of labor on a repair that took barely 30 minutes? You've been book-timed. Shops often charge based on standard estimates, not actual time. Let's say replacing your alternator is estimated at 2 hours. If a skilled mechanic knocks it out in 1, you're still paying for 2. That extra hour? Pure profit. Take charge. Use tools like RepairPal or your mechanic to see fair labor costs for your car model. If your quote is way off, ask why. Request a detailed labor breakdown. If they can't justify 3 hours for a basic brake job, walk away. And always get a written estimate before work begins. If the final bill is more than 10% higher, you have the right to challenge it. Scam 13, the free inspection trap. Free inspection. Who doesn't love the sound of that? That's why this trick works so well. They lure you in with the word free, then slam you with a long list of urgent repairs. According to AAA, 22% of these so-called inspections lead to completely unnecessary fixes. You'll hear things like, your serpentine belt's about to snap, or your suspension's dangerously worn. In reality, surface cracks on a belt are normal. Your suspension might be totally fine. Here's what to do. Never agree to repairs on the spot. Say, thanks, I'll think about it, and get a second opinion. If it's really serious, another honest mechanic will confirm it. And beware of the limited time offer pressure tactic. Unless your car's literally unsafe to drive, there's no emergency. Slow down, do your research, and don't spend hundreds solving problems that don't exist. Final advice, protect yourself. If a shop says you need a repair, ask for proof, old parts, photos, anything. Then do a quick scan of their Yelp or Better Business Bureau reviews. Shops that rely on shady tricks don't hold up well under scrutiny. That's it. 13 mechanic scams exposed. If this video helped you dodge a costly mistake, hit the bell and subscribe so you never miss another money-saving tip.